My name is Gina Leanne Bingham, and I attended Somerset Community College, Laurel Campus, in addition to Somerset Campus from the years 1994 until 1996 to 97.
Hi, I'm J.C. Agnew. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Outdoor Venture Corporation.
My name is Teresa Hale. I'm President of D.C. Trimble Incorporated. I attended Somerset Community College during the summer of 1981 and 1982.
I'm Martin Hatfield, and I'm Pulaski County Attorney. I attended Somerset Community College from 1976 to 1978.
My name is John Perkins. I attended Somerset Community College in 1968 and again in 1973.
I'm Hal Rogers, Member of Congress from the 5th District of Kentucky, and I'm honored to be here.
My name is Don Moss. Mike and I have been friends for over 50 years. We graduated from high school together. We were neighbors. We were family friends. And he was my banker for many years as well. As I mentioned, we graduated from high school together at Somerset High School in 1970. Mike then went to Somerset Community College from 70 to 72, and after that on to the University of Kentucky.
Two things stand out. One was the Learning Lab, where the physics class would congregate and we would basically spend the entire evening doing physics and just the camaraderie there, and it was all that one particular group and we just bonded there. And then the second one, we had a snow day and we had to make a physics lab, so that made us have to commute to Somerset campus to be able to do the experiments with Deb House. And we spent one Saturday doing several physics experiments, and it was just one of the best Saturdays ever.
Previously, I was the director of the McCurdy County Park, and unfortunately, our budget became so thin that we did not have money to operate the park anymore. And so we started looking for a way to repurpose that into an educational facility. And so we actually formed the McCurdy County Education Foundation. And as a foundation, we approached Somerset Community College to establish a campus here. Heretofore, they had classes that they were teaching at the local high school, but this gave us an opportunity to establish a separate school there and bring that building back to life for the community.
My first memory of being on campus was actually being a piano student, and we had a recital in Stoner Hall there. And so I remember that auditorium, the theater, and becoming familiar with it. Then, ironically, I went ahead and auditioned for The Miracle Worker. I got the part, one of several parts, being a classmate of Helen Keller. And so the familiarity, I think, was what I remember the most, that when it came time for me to be a student, I had already been on campus and I was familiar a little bit with the campus and the layout. So
Played basketball at the college, and I was blessed to have a full scholarship there, books and tuition, and great experience. Played with some amazing fellows there, lifelong relationships. In fact, a couple of us are getting together here in 3 or 4 weeks for a dinner up in northern Kentucky. But I've still got a couple of relics from those days, and if I can, I'll show them to you. There's my number 14 jersey that I wore back in the day, and then this is our practice jersey, and it's reversible, so it's like double thickness. I guess that's why I was so skinny back in those days. But
one building. There was one building, and it was very, very personable, because you knew just about everybody. And I remember the lunchroom, I remember the classes, and it was just a good feeling, you know. When we were going here, or when I was going here back in the 60s and 70s, Somerset Community College, for the local folk, we called it Sack Lunch University. And as I got older and got more involved with the community, I know I've told, I don't know how many people, that Somerset Community College is the best kept secret in Pulaski County, because it afforded people like me, non-traditional students, kids that had never been away from home, it afforded us the opportunity to get acclimated to the educational system and to raise our GPA score before we went away from home.
I had helped the college in their application for funding of a new building, and were able to help get the funding approved for what's now called the Harold Rogers Student Commons, which is a flattering fact. But I'm so proud that it is the building for students. And I'm proud of the fact that it's become sort of a community-wide meeting place, center. And I remember the dedication of that building, how that was hailed in the community as a major step forward, which it is and was. So that's one of those pleasant memories I have of the college.
It would be easier to say the organizations in which he was not involved. He was involved in so many of them. I know that he was involved in his banking boards, both area and statewide. He was United Way, Library Board, Somerset Community College Board, the hospital board. And I'm sure I'm leaving out several, but he was very instrumental very involved in the civic affairs. He was chair of most, if not all, the organizations that he was involved in at one point or another, and he was certainly a key to their fundraising efforts, because if it was an organization that he was involved in, he was going to be out raising money to support it. And when you saw him coming, you knew you were going to have to write a check.
Since I attended a small high school in Jackson County, I was used to very small classroom size. And of course, you know, whenever I graduated, I didn't feel like I was ready for the large college scene of University of Kentucky. So I feel like attending the smaller scale Somerset Community College eased me in. It prepared me for everything that I needed as far as my basics to be able to transfer to the bigger campus later on. It just gave me, I was able to stay at home, and it gave me the capability of being home, having the smaller class size, and easing my way on to attend that larger campus.
Well, one of the most important things with a workforce is you need to have them trained. And of course, being a very small rural community, we do not have those resources locally. Somerset Community College, again, has been a very important resource to us for training supervisors and training middle management in particular on manufacturing businesses.
I think every connection that I've had with the community college has helped me in the next phase. So being on campus helped me become a better student, familiar with the campus. Working at the college level enabled me to see into higher education and perhaps be a better employer, be a better businesswoman, and then certainly to instill in me the giving back to the college.
I wasn't prepared to move on to anything much bigger, but Somerset Community College, like I mentioned earlier, gave me that opportunity, and it helped me grow both socially and academically. It prepared me socially for managing my life in a much bigger academic environment when I went on to Eastern, a four-year college, and when I went on to law school at the University of Louisville.
I guess in essence it gave me confidence to speak in front of people, to make decisions, and it gave me the background to where I felt like I was comfortable with anybody, you know, and communicating with anybody, and that all started here. I think I had a speech class here. It taught me how to, everybody has an individual talent. And, you know, just because you aren't good in one thing, you may be good in another. And that's what I realized here. I would have classes with certain people, and maybe they stuck out in this class, but in another class, you know, you didn't know they were there. And people probably thought I wasn't there in all of them. But I was soaking up things. And, you know, there's people that touch your lives. And you mentioned one of them, Dr. Joe Marshall. We just really, really had a good relationship, and we still do.
But the college gives you the chance to make a better life with a 2-year stint at the vocational school, or now something I'm very, very proud of and excited about is what I lovingly call a multiversity, meaning a university of a mixture, so that a person can go the 2 years in the undergraduate and now can stay on campus and secure not only a 2-year diploma degree, but now with all of the major universities within reach of us, Western, Eastern, Moorhead, UK, all are located on campus. And if you want to go beyond the 2 years, you can pick the curriculum and the school, university, that you would like a degree from. And you can stay on that track for the additional 2 years and receive a diploma from UK, Western, Eastern, Moorhead, perhaps others. So it's a whole new world, frankly.
I think Somerset Community College is a very valuable resource here because, similar to my situation, you have the small town folk who don't feel like that they would fit in, you know, if they went to a larger campus. So this opportunity gives them the capability to further their education and make something out of themselves. You know, they can actually go to school, they can work, they can raise their family and do it right here within, you know, the comfort of their backyard.
Well, one of the things that we understood for sure is that if you can make a resource easily accessible, it's going to be used a lot more. And that's why they have bookmobiles for libraries, and especially in rural areas. They bring the books to the users. And the same thing, we wanted to bring the continuing education to the people who needed it, instead of them having to get in the car and drive 45 minutes to an hour to get advanced education. So the local community college was the perfect answer for that. Now they have a lot of remote education, all that's changed the whole landscape, but it was a very important step for McCreary County.
The first thing I think of when I think about what SCC brings to our region is the connection. Because it's stretching across multidisciplines, it's stretching across all of the different schools that are in our region, but the interests alike, particularly with the multiversity opportunities that are there. Somebody has to be that connection point. Somebody has to serve as that initial place, but the place that pulls it all together and everybody holds hands and accomplishes.
It just provides people with a very unique opportunity to get an education without having to move away from home, live in a dorm, leave your family. You can still work part-time, you can go to school, you can achieve your dream of getting a higher level education at Somerset Community College. And now, with the additional programs that you all have partnered with people, the other four-year institutions, you can get a four-year. That wasn't available to me.
And the thing about this college is that the college has gone out and they have collaborated with different colleges to make sure that they can offer four-year degrees in certain things. They're very visible in the community. And when I think about Somerset Community College, I think about health care, I think about all facets of our community. And a lot of our leaders started here, even though they got their four-year degree someplace else. Their foundation is right here.
Well, one of the major thrusts of my office has been with me an effort to develop the infrastructure in our area to try to hold people from moving out, especially young people. So we've promoted all sorts of projects and organizations that will hold people here. And the Somerset Community College has been one of the best answers for that. Because this way, you don't have to leave home to find your future.
I think one of the things that Somerset Community College, and having the different branches, I think that allows more students like me to be able to go on, further their education, and it provides a down-home atmosphere. You know, you can make friends that last a lifetime and have a quality education.
Well, we've had a lucky event in having really good presidents of the college. Dr. Castle has hit the ground running. He's doing a great job at the school. He's amenable to the community, and I can't think of a better one. And we've been blessed with others like Joe Marshall, who did marvelous work at the school. She's inventive. She was hardworking. She was easily adapted into the community. So I put great stock in the work that Joe Marshall did at the school especially.
I'm proud to let people know that this is my school, that it's a part of the community, and it just makes me burst with pride.
Well, Mike impacted the community in so many ways. As we've said, he was involved in so many of our local civic organizations, and he was always stepping up to do what he could. And probably the thing that sticks out to me the most is how he even took that to another level after he got sick. Instead of crawling into a hole and focusing and thinking about his own illness, he was visiting the sick. He was offering financial support to those in need. He called me a few times and told me he needed me to write a check because he had run across somebody that was hurting financially. He raised funds from a group of us that had a mutual classmate that was needing some funds to pay for their funeral. So Mike, his pulse was on the community. One of the things that I noticed especially important to him was his involvement in his church. He and Tammy became very involved in the Episcopal Church here, and it just meant a whole lot to him. I know even during COVID, he hosted a service outside at his house where all the chairs were set safely apart, and so that they could have that fellowship but still be safe during the COVID. And I think, as I said to someone that was even quoted in his obituary about him, that he loved the Lord and he loved his neighbors, so what more could be said about someone?